Hey guys, it's WTH Merhaba. Though, maybe not for long because I kind of wanted to change my name on YouTube. I don't really like WTH Merhaba. But anyway, I haven't made a video like this in a while where I just kind of talk about something that's been on my mind. And today, that topic is going to be about the Elder Scrolls Online. There's been a lot of buzz about this game lately, and I decided to just kind of weigh my opinion on it. Maybe you guys will agree with me, maybe you won't. You know, it's all good. I kind of want to just open a dialogue with you guys. Now, you probably have your opinions already on the Elder Scrolls Online. You know, maybe you absolutely hate the idea, or maybe you love it and you are very excited about it. You know, it's whatever. It's your opinion. As for me, I'm kind of just like, on the topic. If you catch my drift, I'll probably play the game just to give it a shot, but I'm not all that optimistic. I'm sorry. The reason for why I'm not looking forward to the game all that much is because I'm worried about the Elder Scrolls Online's effects on the lore and the feel of the series and the way that we perceive the said lore and the Elder Scrolls universe. See, I'm a huge fan of the story of the series. I mostly get into the lore in most games that I play, but the Elder Scrolls in particular I'm really fond of. And this video is mostly going to be about lore, if not all about it. So if you're not interested in the lore, then this isn't like a review based on, gameplay or whatever. This is strictly speaking of story. I started playing the game. I started playing the Elder Scrolls games, that is, with Morrowind. You know, I read all the books in game. I get really immersed in the Elder Scrolls series, is what I'm trying to say. And I feel like this MMO will really trivialize the places and names that we've heard of as fans of the story. I mean, just imagine looking for 3 more Molag Bal must be in full day trick. What do I mean by that? Well, maybe it's best explained through giving guys an example using Warcraft. See, I remember how Deathwing meant something in the Warcraft lore. You know, I remember reading about this guy, and I thought he was a pretty interesting character in the Warcraft lore. Until Cataclysm came along and completely ruined my interest in the character. You know, I remember, or like another example, I remember playing Warcraft 3 and seeing the Outlands. You know, this is where the orcs originated from, and I thought it was fascinating. Now I hate bringing my characters to Outlands because it's just an endless grind. Well, it does have an end that is level 68, thank God. And then you go into Northrend, which again is another endless grind until, well, I keep using the word endless incorrectly. But actually, that brings me to another point with Northrend. See, I remember in Vanilla WoW or Burning Crusade, like I liked knowing that Arthas was still up there in Northrend. You know, just like you left him in Warcraft 3. Which, by the way, I only played Warcraft 3, not Warcraft 1 and 2. Now Arthas is gone and will never be a threat again. The Scourge was my favorite part of the Warcraft lore, and now it's completely gone. You know, it's decimated. There's really nothing left of him. That probably won't happen. Something like that probably will not happen, you know, to be fair, in the Elder Scrolls, since it is set in the past, so hopefully that will mean that ZeniMax can't fully mess up everything that was already established in, like, you know, Morrowind. Like, you can't have, say, you know, Sotha Sil be a boss where you kill him. Unless you have him, like, teleport in the last second or something really lame like that. But using another game to kind of get to my point in the Elder Scrolls, you know, I remember thinking Coruscant in Star Wars was an amazing looking place in the movies. You know, like, it was the capital of the Galactic Republic. It was this major city covering the entire planet with skyscrapers, you know, going up for miles. In fact, I hated the fact that I couldn't go there in single player games like Knights of the Old Republic, one or two. And then it was released in the MMO, the Old Republic. I was excited about going there. I was excited about the Old Republic in general. But now that I stopped playing it, all I remember of Coruscant is it had boring quest chains and it was an XP grind. And at some point, I remember like rescuing a Twilight stripper or something from her overly attached boyfriend. So very stupid. Coruscant, I feel like, would have been much more interesting to visit as Darth Revan, or the Jedi Exile. For those of you that played the KOTOR games. So going back to the Elder Scrolls, what if they make an expansion for Elder Scrolls Online based on Akavir, right? This land that we've only heard mentioned in myths. I like not knowing so much about Akavir. That's part of its charm. I mean, if they make Akavir or like the Somerset Isles or Admora, these places that we've never been to in single-player games, I hope to God they won't do that. I hope to God that they will save these places for single-player ESO games. And I already know that's not going to be the case, because I know like High Rock, for example, is going to be in the Elder Scrolls Online, and I've never been to High Rock. I think Daggerfall like partially included High Rock, but not all of it. If I'm correct, I might be wrong on that. I never played Daggerfall. I only played Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so if they release places that we've never been to, like imagine if they released Akavir, and it became just another expansion set eventually. Just another expansion set that you go to for experience points and move on. Like for those of you that bought the Dragonborn DLC, you went to Apocrypha for the first time, which is the Plane of Oblivion for Hermaeus Mora. Now I was very excited to visit this place because one of my favorite books in the Elder Scrolls is called On Oblivion, which I will provide a link for you if you're interested, which hopefully I won't forget right now. Let's just pop up on the screen. If the little cool like pop-up thing didn't appear, then I forgot it, and I sound like an idiot. But hopefully I didn't forget to do that. But anyway, this book is about this master of conjuration who travels through different planes of oblivion, seeing the other Daedric princes and their worlds. And he's speaking to his apprentice telepathically through messages, through his mind between the two. And eventually, he finally gets to Apocrypha. By the way, his apprentice is still on Nern. So the Conjuration Master eventually gets to Apocrypha. And while he's there, he becomes less and less responsive to a point where like the apprentice takes years until he hears anything from him again. And now he doesn't hear anything. And this has been years ago. Or this was years ago when his master left. So, Apocrypha was finally released in the Dragonborn DLC. You finally went there. It was all pretty interesting. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I thought they did a decent job with it. I would have liked to see some kind of a reference to that book, but whatever. Not everyone reads the books, obviously. But I can't help but wonder if Apocrypha wasn't released in a Skyrim DLC, and instead it was released in the MMO. Like you speak to Hermaeus Mora, he gives out quests to any like wandering adventurer and etc. Would that experience have been just as special? Like going to Apocrypha, would that have been just as special if 6 other people were there on your screen, killing seekers and picking up quests for this Daedric lord that they really don't know or care about, right? Or what if Hermaeus Mora, instead of a quest giver, was a raid boss, and you beat him up every week for 4 months straight until a new patch comes along. Or like I said, adventurers running around in freaking Apocrypha picking up dailies and shit like that. Wouldn't that make Hermaeus Mora so insignificant? Like killing him as a raid boss, or like having him give quests out to or dailies out to a bunch of people. Wouldn't that make him so insignificant? I mean, because I'll tell you one thing. Having that experience where you kill this person for weeks and months even until a new patch comes along and they're gone forever, having that experience with Arthas or Deathwing certainly made them insignificant. And I can honestly say that nowadays I don't really care a whole lot about the Warcraft lore because of that. And I don't want to see that in the Elder Scrolls. I don't want to see these legendary characters and legendary places become just trivial, insignificant things that that you do over and over again until you're bored with it, and then like a new content patch comes out and your characters level up and you move on. But anyway, I'm gonna start wrapping things up here because I'm kind of rambling. Now I'm not saying I hate the Elder Scrolls MMO, or I'm not saying that I hate the Elder Scrolls or MMOs. And I'm not saying I hate the idea of an Elder Scrolls MMO. I'm not saying that. As you can see, I do care a whole lot about this series. I'm very interested in it. Like I said, I just don't want to see like legendary, figures and characters become like digital monsters that you just whack for gold and loot every 4 days, because reading about the Elder Scrolls to me is like reading a good book. That's the enjoyment I got out of it, and hopefully I will be wrong. Hopefully, make no mistakes. I do hope they make a good game with the Elder Scrolls Online, because there's nothing I can do to stop it now, obviously. So I know it's going to happen, and at this point, I'm just hoping they don't mess it up. Just like most of you, I'm sure. I'm just kind of cautious about it. I'm not fully excited about it. And the reason for that is mostly because of my experience, playing other MMOs, especially World of Warcraft, for years. And seeing the state of that universe, or seeing the state of that universe's lore kind of go downhill. But yeah, I guess that about wraps it up, guys. That was my take on the Elder Scrolls Online. I'm just overall how do you say it? I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambling on here, but I'm just worried about what's going to happen to these characters. Like I said, you can't really kill off like every character because it is set in the past, but I am still worried about how trivial the characters are going to come off as. But yeah, feel free to leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you really enjoyed it. I have a pretty small channel. I mostly make new channel. I mostly make machinima videos, sometimes Let's Plays, and sometimes I'll upload things like this that are kind of out of the ordinary. But yeah, this has been WTH Marhaba. Though maybe I will change my name. I also like taking quick pauses in my speech. I'll see you guys next time.